Hello, everybody. This is a little bit darker and more mysterious video. Well, anyway, all joke aside, I'm going to do some predictions for you again with the upcoming weekend of boxing. Yeah. Well, we got a nice little card in England, in Manchester Arena. Yeah. So, first, let's go to the undercard. Joseph Parker is making his return for the first time since he was rather devastatingly knocked out by Joe Joyce in a good fight. Do you actually know what his real name is? Well, you couldn't pronounce it anyway, Joe. Lupe Soliai La Aulio e Maleitoa. That's it. Alright, so this fight, I don't know how many rounds, doesn't say here. I think it's 10 rounds, yeah, alright. And he's fighting Jack Massey from Cheshire. Uh, that's a nice place to live in, as far as I can understand. Because some British and English celebrities live there. Alright, so Jack Massey's got 20 wins, 1 loss, but on points. Against, actually, he's a former cruiserweight. Wow. This is only his second fight as a heavyweight. So he lost to a guy who I will be also talking about soon. Next, I think. Richard Yakpor on points in 2019. So, he's a rather undersized heavyweight. That means a rather safe fight for Joseph Parker. Yeah, Joseph Parker, the thing is with him now, he's been kind of, I don't know how much left does he have. If he is still prime, anyway, that's what I mean, because he has been knocked out so late by a giant crusher like Joe Joyce. And yeah, he's like 31, but he's already been in quite many big fights, people. Yeah, I mean, Andy Ruiz Jr., Huey Fury, Anthony Joshua, Dillian White, Derek Chisora twice, and then Joe Joyce. So, those guys, they are all powerful, guys. And some of them can really hit, So, yeah. So anyway, I think he will, of course, I expect him to win this fight. I don't know if he will produce a stoppage or not, maybe, but I don't. If so, it will not come before, like probably not. Well, maybe sixth round or a little later than that, seventh, wait. All right, and we also have a fight between a guy called Echo Esuman and Chris Conway in the welterweight division. Yes, but I don't think I will cover that fight because I don't know so much about either of these guys. Let's go to the cruiserweight fight: Richard Riakporhe versus Krzysztof Glowatsky, who is. I'm surprised that he is still fighting, frankly, because he's been, you know, past his best for a while now. He's 36 years old and he was blown out pretty easily by Okoli. And yeah, that fight against Briedis was kind of, it was controversial the way it ended, but still, it just proved that he is no more at his best in his prime. Yeah, so Blavatsky is also a lot shorter than Ryakpur, who is 6'5", actually, while Blavatsky is 6 feet. Yeah, I mean, Blavatsky is never not a really big puncher either. I mean, he managed to stop Marco Hook, but that was also Marco Hook who was past his best. Yeah, so he's more like a strong guy who really pours, brings applies a lot of pressure until he breaks down his opponents. That's mainly how he functions. Yes, and Richard Yakpur is on the other hand, he's a really pretty hard hitter. He's a puncher, but also has got boxing skills. As well, especially for someone of his height. 15-0 with 11 knockouts. Well, Golowatsky is 32-3 with 20 knockouts. Yeah. So the thing is, the best and most famous conquest, shall I say, on Ryakpur's resume so far is Olanrevaju Durodola, who was never more than just a fringe contender, not a really big time contender, but a solid fighter who just fought some good fighters like Lebedev, for instance. Yeah, Lebedev and who else? Makabu, yeah, that's right. Yeah. So, Ryakpur, I don't know really. Glovatsky, as I said, didn't look that good against Okoli, so I don't know if he will look any better here. But I don't think he can really withstand Ryakpur's best shots for too long. So these two I expect to end in a knockout, really. Actually, more so than the first and the Parker fight, and it will probably happen sometime between the sixth and the eighth round. And Glowacki simply, it's time for him to retire, but I guess he's just, he's running on empty. He's just fighting, for the sake of, money, I guess, and probably, and just to be there, just to fight. So that was that fight. Now we go finally to the main event. Wow, that's a really good fight. Chris Eubank Jr. versus Liam Smith. I really like Liam Smith, man. Come on, it's forget about it. The kid has really worked hard. It's obvious after he lost to Canelo, and then he also lost to Curbano, which was kind of a close fight. He lost to fighting away in Russia. And I know that he himself thinks that it wasn't a really fair decision, but anyway. And he also actually fought Jaime Munguia. Yeah, that's right. Wow, I forgot all about it. And he lasted a distance, but he was down and didn't really, he did still quite, managed to win a few rounds still, but so so far his best wins are against Leon Williams, two of them, and Anthony Fowler, Jesse Vargas especially. Yeah, he stopped Jesse not very long ago last year, and also Hassan Joaquino turned out to be pretty good win for him, because Joaquino was coming off win against Julius Indongo. So yeah, I mean Liam Smith, but this is of course that was his first fight above 154. And now he's fighting at 160, I think, isn't it? So let's see. Yeah, this is 160. And Eubank Jr., has had actually gone up to 168 before this, but then that whole damn travesty happened with Conor Ben, and he had to go down, lose a lot of weight to compete, at a 154, I believe that was supposed to be, and yeah, or was it a catch weight? Doesn't matter. Yeah. Anyway, so we don't know really how his shape is right now. That's the big deal. The big thing when it comes to picking to calling this fight. He's 33 also, by the way, so he's now like approaching the end of his prime, or maybe actually his prime might have ended already. I mean, last year his only fight was in February the 5th, so it's almost a year since he fought, and he was good. He was impressive when he beat Liam Williams. Did everything but to knock him out. Pull him down several times. And but before that, yeah, he didn't really fight many really really good fighters. I mean, since the time that the Corona set in, his last fight against our good fighter was when he beat Matvey Korobo, but that was because Korobo had injured his shoulder. So that Eubank got away, kind of. He got lucky there. He also lost the first round, all scorecards there. And yeah, so but still, Chris Eubank is still a junior, world class fighter, no doubt about that. Just like his old man was, and he's at this weight also against the guy has been who is not the biggest middleweight anyway. Also a little bit short, not so much, but then we had Liam Williams, sorry, Smith hasn't fought really, you know, uh, a really good opponent at this weight yet. So we don't know how well he has grown into this. But it shouldn't be a problem. It's not so much, not such a big difference in weight, but it's more that it's about punching power. His punching power was good at 154, but yeah, maybe not great. Well, no, not great, but good, just good. Simply, he was always aggressive. Actually managed to stop Sam Eggington. Yeah, actually in 5 rounds. So, but he's not the guy that will get you out there with, quickly to put it that way, with a few punches or one punch. Well, Eubank Jr. has actually scored knockouts, like the one against Yildirim with one punch, and that was at super middleweight actually. So even though he usually does not do that, but he can. He has shown that he can do that, right? He can. So if anybody should score a knockout here, it will be Eubank for sure, not Williams. Smith, sorry, once again. But I think also this fight will probably go the distance because Eubank has now been inactive for a while. He may have been affected by the weight loss, the weight he had to lose, even though he has since gotten it back. But you never know how this may affect the fighter, right? So this can swing either way, when it comes to the decision also. But frankly, Eubank being slightly more popular and a little more well-known fighter, This will probably swing his way if it's a really close fight. If it turns out to be, it may end a draw also. But if it's a split decision, then probably he will get it. But yeah, actually, I think Liam Smith, unless Eubank shows to be already past his prime, then it will be hard for Liam Smith to get this fight to win it. But not impossible. No, of course not. I mean, if he manages to score a knockdown or two, yeah, for sure. Why not? So, but anyway, I would probably favor slightly Chris Eubank Jr. to win on points. All right, so that were my predictions. Thank you for watching. And see you. Bye bye.